What up, propeller heads? This is Froogle, sitting here in Microsoft Flight Simulator X, Microsoft Flight Simulator 10X Cross, I don't know what you call it, FSX. Here we are in FSX, sitting at Darrington, running the OrbX Pacific Northwest scenery. I normally run Rex. I'm not running that right now because the weather here is atrocious today. And I'm in the... Oh, that's not a good shot for you, is it? That's a better shot. Carenado's Cessna 208B Caravan. Reason I'm in this, and this is why I'm doing the video, just really an update on FSX and just shooting the breeze with you guys. I've been spending all weekend in this thing and in the Carenado Skymaster, Cessna Skymaster, because first order of business, Tapcheck. That's Tapcheck. I wrote a little iPhone app called Tapcheck, which is for virtual pilots. Lets you do all your checklists and stuff, but kind of with a virtual co-pilot to assist you that speaks everything.
Flight inspection. V.tube cover.
So I can say, yeah, P.tube cover's been removed.
V.tube cover removed. Pilot. S operating handbook.
Oh, that didn't pronounce very well. Pilot's operating handbook is present.
Pilot. S operating handbook present. Weight and balance.
Weight and balance is checked.
Weight and balance checked.
And so on and so on and so on. So the idea of Tapcheck is it basically lets you work through all the checklists you have associated with an aircraft in a very, very easy way. It reads them out to you rather than you having to refer to stuff all the time. You just whack this big checked button on the screen and it moves on to the next step. We have a store in there where you can get additional aircraft. We've been asking people what other aircraft do you want to see, and the two most popular so far are the Carenado Cessna 208B Caravan here and the Cessna 377 Skymaster. So I've been spending a lot of time in both those aircraft, and it really gave me a new appreciation this weekend of just how phenomenal FSX is. Let me run through startup on this. I'm not actually going to run through the checklist on this because I've done this so many times this weekend already. So battery on, fuel flow on, make sure that we don't have, fuel boost pump on, don't have any fuel flow, which is exactly what we want. Synchronize all my controls there. So condition levers, just move them out of cutoff, propellers to max, start. I love this aircraft. I love all the Carenado aircraft. Don't ever discount Carenado's aircraft just because they're general aviation planes and you might be interested in something sexier like an F-16 or a 737. These are phenomenal aircraft that take quite a long time to master. They really, really do. Alright, so that's good. Let's move my condition lever up to flight idle. There we are. Generator on, standby power on, avionics on, ignition off, starter off, fuel boost off, all my lights are out. Let's put some beacons on. There we go. Taxi lights can go on. So the other thing, while this aircraft warms up a little bit, is right now here, as I have it at Darrington, it's actually a little bit windy outside. You'd never know it. Thankfully, A2A Simulations have come to the rescue. This weekend they launched their Accu-Feel add-on, which brings all the environmental stuff and some flight dynamic stuff from their AccuSim aircraft into FSX for all aircraft, whether they're built in or whether they're an add-on like this one. So let me go and run that up here. In fact, let me show you something first. If I open the door, notice there's not much change there. You should hear a lot of wind noise. There's a propeller spinning on the front of the aircraft. Should be forcing a lot of wind backwards. It's very noisy out there. You should be hearing some environmental wind as well. Let me go and turn Accu-Feel on. An Accu-Feel you can configure for each different aircraft. You have sliders here to control the amount of things like brake squeal or shock absorption from the undercarriage. Let me put that down. The wind volume and all sorts of stuff like that. And it's per aircraft. So now I've turned that on. You can hear wind already. Hear that? Whistling past the cockpit here from the propeller. If I open the door now, check this out. Pretty damn windy day now. So that's really what Accu-Feel does. It makes the whole sim a lot more immersive by bringing in the environment around you. Changing the dynamics of the aircraft a little bit as well, and just generally making it a much more immersive and polished experience. So there was that. The other thing I found this weekend from all the time I've spent in these aircraft is a new appreciation for the OrbX scenery. So let's start moving. By the way, Accufeel is still running now, so you're going to start hearing bumps in a second as the wheels on the undercarriage of the aircraft move over the bumps and cracks on this taxiway. And you can move the sliders in Accufeel to make it that the aircraft is older and rattles and squeaks all the time, or you can move them to the right and make it a brand new aircraft. I'll shut up a second, you can hear this. Isn't that crazy? If I run off the taxiway here onto the grass, listen. Bump, bump. So Accufeel just makes FSX feel a lot more realistic, which I think is brilliant. AccuSim retails for about $15. Get it from A2A's website. That's a2asimulations.com. Let me take off here. I guess the next thing I want to show you is what Accufeel does in the air, but also just look at this amazing scenery here. And I normally fly with this, and the other videos I've done with FSX have all been around this scenery as well. I just think it's amazing. Love this place. Alright, 20 degrees of flaps. Let's make sure I'm trimmed here for takeoff. I am now. Put my condition levers up to maximum there. This aircraft actually has been a bit of a challenge to learn. As I said, the Carenado aircraft are very realistic and quite satisfying to master. It's a turboprop, so there's a bit of a lag between adjusting the throttle and it having any effect at all on the engine as the turbo spools up. Alright, so we're lined up. Let's just get this into the air and go admire the amazing scenery up here and show you some more of what Accufeel does. So I'm going to try to climb this to about 4,000 feet, and I'll show you some of the other Accufeel stuff, in particular stalls. So 70 odd knots, here we go, we'll rotate. Like I said, it's a little windy. Flaps up 10 degrees. Let's turn ATIS off there. Alright, picking up a bit of speed now, so flaps up completely, all the way up now. Look at this. Skyrim, eat your heart out. FSX, which is now 6 years old, I think. Bringing it, courtesy of the Orbex scenery. I'm using a preset weather theme because I think I said earlier the weather here in Darrington today is absolutely hideous. Not good for doing a video. Do have some gusts, about 16 knots, which is why you keep seeing the nose move a little bit. Let's just climb this up to about 3,000, 4,000 feet. Look around a bit, and I'll show you some more Accufeel. Actually, it really is quite gusty. And I do very, very much like this Cessna Caravan. I'm quite surprised. I thought it would be a lot easier to fly than it is. It's been a very satisfying challenge, the hours I've spent in that this weekend. Mastering every nuance of it. I still haven't fully mastered landings. I can put it down where I want. It does tend to come down a bit hard, and with Accufeel on, you really feel it. I mean, it comes through the headphones or the speakers as a loud crack as soon as you hit that tarmac a little bit too hard. You can really tell with Accufeel the difference between a soft landing and a hard landing, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'm so glad the boys at A2A came out with Accufeel. Adds a whole new dimension to every aircraft in FSX, not just the AccuSim ones. It's going to keep climbing here, then we're going to make a right turn back towards the airport. Look at some of this amazing scenery. If you're interested in looking at the scenery yourself, I think the website is fullterrain.com. That's where you can go get it. Or you can just Google OrbX, O-R-B-X. Alright, so we're coming up on about 3,000 feet. Let's try to make a nice climbing turn. With these gusts of wind, it might be a bit of a challenge. got a bit too much lift there. Got hit by a gust. So anybody that says that FSX with its age doesn't cut it anymore really doesn't know what they're talking about. I don't have a better looking flight sim than this. Even the DCS ones like the KA50 and the A10, they don't look this good. Look at that. See the clouds in the valley up ahead there? Incidentally, I only just started flying out of Darrington. I have the Twin Oaks add-on scenery. I've been flying out of there. And I thought I would just see how well the FSX ATC does. And I flew into Darrington last night from Seattle. Oh my god, it got so screwed up. It's like climb, turn, descend, turn. It really couldn't do it, which is great because there's so many mountains here. The correct way to approach, I've found, is to actually down that valley. You put the nose down, up ahead, and then a slight left turn that puts you onto the runway. Alright, let's keep on climbing up here. Now, with that climb going, I'm going to turn Accu-Feel off. So it's going to get a bit quieter, no more wind noise. Some people might prefer that. I think it's much more immersive, satisfying and realistic with the wind noise. Now I'm just going to trim this. Reduce power a bit. I'm going to trim this to fly straight and level at 4,000 feet. There we go. Like I said, it's very windy, getting quite a lot of gusts, especially now I'm a lot higher up. Which is why there's so much movement from the nose right now. Okay, so the other big difference, I guess, that Accu-Feel adds to all the aircraft, add-on or not, is in the area of flight dynamics, in particular stalls. Watch this. In fact, where am I? Okay, let's turn to the left a little bit before we try this, actually. Don't really want to go nose first into the side of a mountain. Let's just head over that valley there and the river or lake that's running through the middle. Much safer place to be doing this sort of stuff. Okay, so I am going to reduce power a bit. I'm going to lift the nose up and hold it there and put this into a stall. This is without Accu-Feel. So this is really what most aircraft in FSX feel like when they stall. It's getting a little bit sluggish now. Nose is trying to come down. Stall warning. And left wing drops, nose comes down. And there we go. So put a bit of right rudder in, power on. That's a standard FSX general aircraft, general aviation stall, right? Okay, let's climb back up to 4,000 feet. Let me show you what a stall is like with Accu-Feel. This is amazing. This is much more realistic. So there's the wind noise. Now, honestly, this is much more realistic. If you're used to flying light aircraft like Cessnas and stuff, you'll be very familiar with this. Nose up, power off, airspeed's coming down now. Just going to hold the nose here. Now, as we approach the stall, you'll start to get buffeting because the flow of wind over the wings breaks up. There we go, buffet, buffet, buffet. Oh! And you hear everything in the canopy there, cockpit, vibrating and shaking. That's a stall. So Accu-Feel is not just simple things like squeaks of tires and brakes and stuff on the runway. It translates to your flight characteristics as well. Isn't that scenery just amazing? Okay, I'll fly around a little bit and then we'll call this video a day. So that's really all I had for you. Just wanted to talk through a little bit of FSX. The Cessna Caravan here that I've been spending all my time in. Tapcheck, of course, my phenomenal iPhone tap-based checklist app for pilots, and of course, A2A simulations. Phenomenal Accu-Feel. And the Orbex scenery, of course. I will be doing a video on the Cessna 377 Skymaster when I spend a bit more time in that, just to show you what's going on with that. I think you'll like it. Most people seem to, based on the feedback we've received on Tapcheck. Let's just fly over this ridge here and you can look down the valley. Isn't that stunning? Flying in here last night with there were low clouds, bit of rain as well. It looked really amazing. Some of these mountain peaks just shrouded in cloud, and you'd pop out of the cloud and just see a peak kind of whizzing by the left window, because I was on the descent obviously to land into Darrington, which is down there. There it is. Beautiful scenery. I probably need to get the Darrington add-on scenery at some point. There's a whole set of scenery just for that airport down there. I've got the Twin Oaks scenery, and that's very, very attractive and realistic. You know, if you look down here right now, there you can see the runway clear as day. Those people that actually fly would hear that's not actually the case. It's often quite hard to actually spot a small runway, a small airport like that from the air in the real world. And the Orbex add-on airport scenery for Darrington and Twin Oaks really fixes that. It's actually very, very hard to find the runway visually. You need to understand a bit more of the surrounding terrain and the landmarks and use those to navigate and make sure you're on track. Just go to an outside view and we will call this video a day. There we go, the Carenado Cessna Caravan. Wonderfully challenging aircraft to fly. Once again, my name is Froogle. Thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to click on like and subscribe.